Just got off shift. I don't want to cook. Very grateful I made these the other day. I'm going to start the day with 55 grams of protein. Let me show you how to make them. Here's all the ingredients you'll need, so gather them up and I'll show you how easy this is. The first thing we're going to do is cube our ham. I have 2 ham steaks. I'm going to cube in the same size that I'm going to cube the sweet potatoes and the veggies so that it's easy to eat. About 1/2 inch cubes. Do one way, rotate, and stack a couple of them just to make it easier to cube. If you can't find ham steaks, you can use any other lean proteins that you like. Center cut bacon, Canadian bacon, even turkey sausage or diced chicken are all great options. And that's it with the ham. 1 centimeter cubed. And then we're gonna pan fry them, and that's how we're gonna start. Ham is in, nice and hot pan. Try to make it on an even layer. You can try to brown it a bit. If you wanna save some time, you can skip this step. If you have the time and you want extra flavor, don't skip it. Set the ham aside and use the same pan to cook the lean ground beef. When you're buying ground beef, look for the leanest cut possible. I like using 93% lean, but try to stay away from anything lower than 85%. Remember to season your ground beef. A simple pinch of salt and pepper is all you need, but you can also add your favorite season. So while the ham and the beef is cooking behind me, I'm gonna prep the veggies. Again, I'm gonna try to cut everything about the same size so that it eats easier. So it's gonna be a bigger dice on the onion and a bigger dice on the bell peppers. And the sweet potatoes, we're gonna cut them the same size as we did with the ham. So about 1/2 inches. I'm gonna go 90%, 95%, keeping the root intact. And then other way. So onions are done. Next we're going to do the bell peppers. Same size as the onions. Depending on what you're trying to do with the bell peppers, there's a bunch of different ways to cut them. But because this doesn't need to be as clean, that's how I like to do them. It's easy. Basically just run my knife along the ribs, get the bottom, and then every bottom, I'll cut them in smaller pieces, but here gives me the opportunity to cut it again about 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. Some people will tell you to do skin down, skin up. I like, if I do skin up, I can push down on it and make a flatter surface. Has less of a chance to roll. Safer for my fingers. So we're gonna put this in the same bowl as the onions. Now onto the sweet potatoes. To make peeling easier, what I like to do is cut the top and bottom. That way when I peel here, it goes all the way to the end. So now onto the dangerous part of this recipe, the sweet potatoes. They roll a lot, sometimes hard to handle. So what I like to do is find kind of the flatter edge first, put it down, and I'm gonna make myself a flat edge. Push it down hard, nice sharp knife, and make yourself a really good flat edge. Now we're gonna put this down and then run our knife down it. We're going the same size as we did the ham, same size as we did the bell peppers and the onion. When you get to the end, if you want to straddle it, nice and careful here. And now we have these nice little slices. And do the same with the other one. Now again, working with flat parts as much as possible. these nice cubes. These cubes are gonna go in a separate bowl because they are gonna cook at a separate time. So again, this is gonna go in a separate bowl as the bell peppers and onion, because we're gonna add them to the recipe later in the process. Once the beef is cooked, set it aside and use the same pan to fry up the veggies. Season them with salt and pepper and your favorite seasoning if you want some extra flavor. We're gonna let this cook down for about 3 to 5 minutes until the veggies soften, and then we'll add in the sweet potatoes. Again, a little pinch of salt and pepper, and then we're gonna add in some chicken stock to help steam the potatoes. Cover everything with a lid for about 8 to 10 minutes until the sweet potatoes are fork tender. So right here, we have our cooked meats. And right here we have all our cooked veggies. We're gonna mix everything together. And now you see why it's important to have similar size bites. The ham, the bell peppers, onion, and sweet potatoes are all very similar size, which is gonna make a nice bite. If I do this 4-meal prep, or I wanna be really accurate, I usually put it on the scale. I know what the yield is of this recipe, and I'll just divide it by 6. Gives me much more accurate portions. Then when it's time for breakfast, I'll basically just make 2 eggs, sunny side up. And what I'll actually do is I'll put this hash back in the pan, warm it up through. In that same pan, I'm gonna add the eggs after. That way everything's nice and warm. I have the flavor of the hash in the eggs. This is what it looks like for me. It's breakfast time right now. So I'm actually gonna have this one. The rest are gonna get a lid, go in the fridge. And when it's time to eat the next day or during the week, I'll make 2 eggs sunny side up, heat this up either in a pan or in the fridge, and I'm ready to go. 55, 60 grams of protein. Comment down below, let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe for more high protein recipes.